As the spring unfolds, emotions are about to boil over, and relationships hang in the balance. From March 31st through April 11th, 2025, Days of Our Lives promises a whirlwind of secrets, confessions, and simmering passion. Especially as Jada Hunter and Shawn Brady face the emotional fallout of a decision that could change the course of their lives forever. A night of mistaken identity leads to a shocking secret. The chaos began when Jada and Shawn, both seasoned detectives and longtime friends, found themselves in a vulnerable place. Under the cloud of misinformation and mounting suspicions, they believed that Rafe Hernandez, Jada's then-partner, had crossed an unthinkable line. But what seemed like betrayal turned out to be deception of another kind. Rafe's evil doppelganger, Arnold Feniger, had been impersonating him. In the heat of confusion and heartbreak, Jada and Shawn turned to each other for comfort. The bond they shared as colleagues quickly shifted into something more intimate, culminating in a night neither of them could take back. Though the truth about the impersonator eventually came to light and the real Rafe was exonerated, the consequences of that night still linger, especially in Jada's heart. A heavy burden and a painful confession as guilt builds and secrets weigh heavily on her. Jada reaches a breaking point. She knows that the truth can't be buried forever, especially when it involves Rafe, a man who once trusted her with not only his life but his love. She decides to do the right thing, tell him the truth. In a raw and emotional moment, Jada confesses to Rafe that she slept with Shawn during the time they believed Rafe had turned against them. But instead of forgiveness, Jada is met with heartbreak. Rafe's reaction is less than understanding. He's blindsided, devastated, and disappointed, not only by the betrayal but by the timing of the confession. The man who had stood by Jada through danger and doubt is suddenly a stranger, cold and distant. Unable to cope with the fallout, Jada finds herself drowning in regret. She seeks solace at small bar, where the weight of her choices becomes unbearable. She turns to alcohol, hoping it might numb the pain that words can't seem to ease. A surprising savior, but just as Jada spirals, someone unexpected finds her. Shawn Brady, the same man who shares her guilt and her grief, the same man who hasn't stopped thinking about that night and what it truly meant. When Shawn sees her alone and hurting, something inside him shifts. This isn't just about a mistake. This is about a connection that neither of them has been able to ignore. He sits beside her, offering quiet comfort instead of judgment. For the first time in days, Jada doesn't feel alone. The tension between them is undeniable, but now it's layered with something deeper. Understanding, compassion, and maybe, just maybe, love. Confidence and complications. While Jada and Shawn navigate their complicated feelings in secret, others in Salem are starting to notice the sparks between them. J.J. Devereaux, ever observant and loyal to both his friends, confronts Shawn directly. He asks the question that Shawn has been trying to avoid: do you have feelings for Jada? Shawn is reluctant to admit it, but deep down he knows the answer. What started as a moment of confusion has blossomed into something far more complicated. And now he's at a crossroads. Does he pursue this new, unexpected relationship? Or does he bury his feelings to preserve the peace in his professional and personal life? Because there's another layer of risk here. Jada is his superior at the Salem Police Department. A relationship between them could jeopardize their careers, damage their reputations, and further strain their already complicated dynamic with Rafe, who still carries the emotional scars from Jada's confession. A growing bond that can't be ignored despite the risks. Jada and Shawn continue to grow closer. Whether it's a shared look across the precinct or a quiet exchange over coffee, there's a tenderness between them that neither can deny. They support each other through their mutual guilt, slowly finding comfort in the companionship only they can provide one another. But secrets don't stay buried for long in Salem. With rumors beginning to swirl and tensions running high, the couple is running out of time to decide where they stand. Will they admit their feelings and risk everything? Or will they retreat into the safety of silence, forever wondering what might have been? Consequences looming on the horizon as April unfolds. The choices made in the shadows will come to light. If Shawn chooses to confess his love for Jada, it could cost him not only his job but also his friendship with Rafe. Perhaps even his place in the Salem Police Department. And for Jada, already reeling from Rafe's betrayal and heartbreak, the consequences of following her heart could be devastating. One thing is clear, the emotional journey between Jada Hunter and Shawn Brady is just beginning. What started as a moment of mistaken judgment has evolved into a complex, deeply human story of connection, regret, and the dangerous territory between love and loyalty. Will Salem's newest potential couple take the leap, or will they be forced to choose duty over desire? As secrets unravel and hearts are laid bare, viewers are in for a dramatic and unforgettable ride. Stay tuned as Days of Our Lives continues to explore the fragile dance between truth, love, and consequence, where every decision comes at a cost and no heart remains untouched. Secrets, suspicion, and confessions. Trouble brews in Salem's police department and beyond. Tuesday's episode of Days of Our Lives took viewers deep into the shadows of the Salem Police Department, where secrets are piling up, emotions are running high, and the cracks in personal relationships are beginning to show. What started as a simple investigation soon unraveled into a dramatic dance of hidden feelings, professional boundaries, and the relentless pressure of loyalty and truth. In the interrogation room, more than just a necklace, the episode opened with Shawn stepping into the interrogation room where JJ was waiting to be questioned about a stolen necklace, a piece that might be connected to the ongoing Doug case. The air was thick with tension, not just from the investigation but from something more personal bubbling beneath the surface. JJ, uncertain if Julie truly intended to press charges, tried to navigate the conversation carefully. But when Shawn let slip a pointed remark about criminals getting away with their crimes, JJ's instincts kicked in. He immediately recognized the veiled reference. This wasn't about petty theft. Shawn was talking about EJ. The undercurrent of resentment in Shawn's voice was unmistakable. JJ didn't push, at least not yet. But the room became less about the necklace and more about the tangled emotions and strained loyalties circulating within the department. Secrets between officers. As the conversation shifted from the case to personal matters, JJ took the opportunity to check in on Shawn and, more pointedly, his relationship with Jada. The mention of their earlier conversation prompted a revealing response. Shawn quietly confessed that their boss, Rafe, had no idea about what was going on between him and Jada. And according to Shawn, it was going to stay that way. But JJ didn't stop there. His blunt question whether Shawn had real feelings for Jada caught Shawn off guard. Clearly uncomfortable, Shawn sidestepped the question, offering only that he and Jada were friends. But the hesitation in his voice and the look in his eyes told a different story. Luckily for Shawn, the moment was interrupted. The door opened and Jada walked in, accompanied by the district attorney. Their arrival brought a shift in energy. Jada, ever composed and tactical, quickly laid out the rope plan they had devised. They wasted no time in diving into the operation. As JJ focused on handling the technical logistics, Shawn hurried out, a man clearly running from more than just a mission. A late-night confession and a brewing storm. Later that evening, Jada sat alone in the dimly lit station, working on the final details of the plan when Shawn returned. His face was unreadable, his demeanor cautious. He informed her that Belle was on her way to see EJ, a detail that seemed to rattle both of them in different ways. Then came the second revelation. JJ knew what had happened between them. Jada's face tensed with concern, but Shawn quickly reassured her that JJ could be trusted. Jada nodded, reluctantly agreeing, but her worry lingered. The walls of secrecy they'd built were already beginning to crack. Not only did JJ know, but Stephanie was also aware of their involvement. The fear wasn't just about the secret coming out, it was about who would tell Rafe and when. In Salem, secrets don't stay buried for long. The moment of truth, Rafe arrives just as Jada reached for her phone, perhaps to finally come clean. Fate intervened. The door opened and in walked Rafe. Her posture stiffened as she glanced at Shawn, who caught the signal. Wordlessly, he exited the room, leaving Jada to face the man they had kept in the dark. She asked Rafe to sit down. He did so with a calm expression that betrayed none of the storm that might come. Jada sat across from him, took a breath, and frowned. The moment of truth had arrived. What came next would change everything. Meanwhile, at the DiMera mansion, as all this unfolded at the station, a different kind of drama played out behind the grand doors of the DiMera mansion. The doorbell rang once, sharply. EJ opened the door to find Belle standing there, a soft smile on her lips. "I got your text," she said. "I missed you too." With that, she stepped inside. Whatever tension lay between them earlier had clearly shifted. For now, Belle and EJ were reconnecting. But in Salem, a smile often hides a secret, and a reunion can quickly turn into a betrayal. A City on the Edge Tuesday's episode was a reminder that in Salem, personal lives and professional duties are forever intertwined. The police station, once a symbol of law and order, has become a stage for romantic secrecy and emotional turmoil. Jada and Shawn are standing on the edge of a cliff, with truth threatening to send them tumbling. JJ, loyal but watchful, now holds knowledge that could rock the department. Rafe, unsuspecting but dangerously close to the truth, is about to hear something that could change his relationships and his trust in his colleagues forever. And while the DiMera mansion might seem like a world away, the players involved in this tangled web are all connected, and their choices will echo far beyond their own walls. What happens when the truth finally comes out? When friendships fracture, when lovers are betrayed, when loyalty is tested not just between lovers but between law officers sworn to uphold justice. In Salem, the answers are never simple, and the fallout is always dramatic. Stay tuned.